How's it going, everybody? It's Mike from PC Classic Cars, back with another virtual description. Today we are going to talk about our 1978 Pontiac Trans Am. This is a vehicle I bought from a customer, a husband and wife out of South Carolina. They had a little car collection. I believe they had 3 or 4 classic cars. He bought this vehicle out of California right at about a year ago, so he owned it right at a year. The story goes he ended up buying another classic car and didn't need 2 Trans Ams, so that's why he sold it to us. It is a PHS documented Trans Am 400 4-speed car. You can check out the PHS on my website, pcclassiccars.com. It'll be inside my additional infos tab under the photos of this vehicle. Again, click on the vehicle, scroll below the photos. You'll see the virtual description, which is what you're watching. You'll have the test drive video next to it, which will be me driving the vehicle. And then you'll also have the additional infos tab, which will have a lot of great information in there. And then the PHS will have its own file within that tab. The driveline that's in this Trans Am is a non-original 400, but it is obviously a factory 400 car. The block that is in the car is a suffix code WC, which decodes as a 1978 block. It feels like a stock 400. Unfortunately, I do not know when that motor was installed. I do not know how many miles are on that motor, but again, it performs well. It's a stock style 400, pulls the car down the road well, just nothing high performance, just again, stock style 400. Backed by a factory 4-speed manual transmission. It is a Borg-Warner T10. Transmission shifts good, clutch feels good, goes up and down, in and out of all the gears. Power steering, power front disc brakes, and this one is a factory AC car. The AC has been converted to R134A and it blows nice and cold. On your exhaust, you retain a stock style set of manifolds. It is dual exhaust, and then you do have like a Dynamax muffler with full exhaust tips and pipes out the back. You do have original style factory front and rear sway bars, and then aftermarket aluminum radiator, so it stays nice and cool. I haven't had any overheating issues. Take a look at that test drive video. It's me driving the vehicle. It's about a 10-minute long video going down the road. You'll get to hear the car, see my overall feel, and again, see me actually driving it down the road. On my Does It Work section, it's a pretty sorted car electrically. The only real issues wrong with it, things that I have noted is either not working or not 100%, is the speedo works, but it's off by 20 miles an hour, so significantly off. So you're going to want to repair that if you want to have a working speedometer, or you can just pull up the GPS app on your phone. Again, to each their own. You can have that fixed relatively inexpensively. Usually the repairing a speedo is not hard to do. The item that I have listed as an actual no is the reverse lights do not work. So when you put the car over in reverse, the little white lights and the tail lights aren't coming on. I did not diagnose it. I don't know if there's an electrical problem or if it's just the bulbs and the tail lights. I did not dive into it, so I do not know what is wrong with that. But most likely, probably something pretty simple to get those reverse lights fixed. During my pre-inspection on the car, we didn't see any current drips or leaks. It was a nice and dry car on the bottom as far as the motor, transmission, and the rear end. Unfortunately, with any old car, it might not be dripping today. You go out to your garage and it's going to have a little drip or two underneath it tomorrow. There's no way for me to predict that. But at least right now, when we checked the car in here at my dealership, it was nice and dry from all of the normal spots on the bottom. Your subframe, your rear leaf springs, and then your sway bar brackets, those bushings are a little bit older on the car. Nothing that needs to be replaced. There's just a little bit of cracking in those bushings, but again, everything's within spec and it checks out good. The ball joints look like they've recently been replaced, and then same thing with the tie rod ends have been replaced at some point. All of the boots are intact for that. So suspension and steering, all that stuff on the bottom looks good. On the exterior, the code is factory 75 Mayan red. One of my favorite colors on a Trans Am. I think the red is a great looking color for these cars. Don't know when it was repainted, but it has been a car that has been reshot at some point. Obviously, it is repainted red. I don't know if the exact color code that they used was Mayan red for a 78 Trans Am, but from everything that I can see, it does look like a factory color. And again, it is a code 75 Mayan red car. Miscellaneous little imperfections, smaller flaws, nothing terrible, no bad body work, no bubbles. Take a look at my additional infos tab that I mentioned before in this video. It's got a bunch of really good photos of things that I personally point out. All of the little imperfections on the car, you'll see that in that additional infos tab on the website. If I have to complain about anything on the exterior, The paint on the wheels is older. You could maybe have those redone at some point. And then the door pins on this body style Pontiac, and even Camaros, those big doors, they're just heavy doors. And when you pop them open, the doors want to sag down just a little bit. This one, the driver's door, you can lift up and down a little bit. So at some point, I would probably want to replace the door pins. The doors will open and close well. You just have to give it a little bit more effort than just a 2-finger click. You have to get a little effort behind the doors, and then they will close properly. On your interior, probably my other favorite thing about the car is it is a black cloth interior. The code for the black cloth is 19. So this is a factory black cloth car. I think a lot of the interior is going to be original. So it's not a restored interior, more of just kind of an original, clean survivor style interior. No weird smells or really any issues. The gauges, you can read them. There's a little bit of discoloration on the lens. Same thing with like the AC vents. They just are original, so they're not taken apart, restored, but they're still usable and clean. Just a little bit of discoloration and just wear from being the age of the car. The headliner's got a few little nicks in it. Same thing with the seats, a little bit of wear from getting in and out in the seats, but no major tears, no major cracks, no real issues. Just an original style interior front to back. It is nice and clean. The underneath, unfortunately, outside of the car being in South Carolina for a year and then it being out in California for a year before that from the guy that we bought it from, or before that we bought it from, I don't know where it lived its life, but it is a good, solid car. It very well could have been a West Coast car, but I don't have any paperwork to support that. The floors, all that stuff looks great. The frame rails are nice. Inside the trunk, the drop downs, I didn't find any rust issues. Take a look at the underneath photos that I have posted on my website. You'll see some really good shots of the bottom side of the car. I didn't find any current rust issues, and it shows like a nice, solid, original style car outside of the exhaust being replaced on the bottom. Overall feel on this Trans Am, it is a really fun and a really cool Trans Am. I love the color combo with the Mayan red and the black interior. The factory AC is a big plus. The AC, again, does blow cold. Just finding a Trans Am that's a 400 4-speed and factory airs is difficult, but this one's cool. I love the color combo. Again, the Mayan red with the black cloth interior is really, really cool. Just a fun car to drive, and it definitely gets a lot of looks going down the road. I appreciate y'all stopping in to watch another one of my virtual descriptions. I would suggest taking a look at that test drive video along with the additional infos tab on my website, pcclassiccars.com. And if there's ever anything else that y'all want to see in these videos, don't hesitate to reach out to us directly. Appreciate y'all watching for this virtual description, and we'll see you guys on the next video. Thanks again, and have a great day.